name is Kaylee McMillan, and I was in a group with Cambria Bowen and Katie Weaver, and our project is on the ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet, what is it? It is a high-fat, adequate protein, low-carb diet that in medicine is used primarily to treat difficult to control epilepsy in children. The diet forces the body to burn fats rather than carbs. By drastically reducing carb intake and replacing it with fat, you put your body into a metabolic state called ketosis. During ketosis, the body becomes incredibly efficient at burning fat for energy and turns fat into ketones in the liver, which can supply energy for the brain. When did it originate? This diet dates back to the 1920s, when Dr. Russell Wilder at the Mayo Clinic designed this classic keto diet, which was used by doctors to control epileptic seizures. This diet was widely used in the next decade, but its popularity waned with the introduction of effective anticonvulsant medications. In 1996, a Hollywood celebrity was featured on TV, demonstrating how this diet controlled his son's seizures when medications could not. This led the celebrity to create the Charlie Foundation that conducted the research study that was published in 1998 and caused great renewed interest in the diet. Different types. The standard keto diet recommends 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% carbs. The clinical recommendations are periods of higher carb refeeds. Refeeds are commonly described as a planned increase in calories used when dieting to negate some of the downside of eating in calorie deficit. Targeted recommendation is adding carbs around workouts. High protein recommendation is 60% fat, 35% protein, 5% carbs. Ketogenic and losing weight. Research shows that the keto diet is far superior to recommended low-fat diet. People lost 2.2 times more weight than those on a calorie-restricted low-fat diet. People lost 3 times more weight than those on the diet recommended by Diabetes UK. This diet also lowers blood sugar and improves insulin sensitivity by 75%. 95.2% of diabetic keto dieters were able to stop or reduce their diabetic medication, compared to the 62% in the higher carb diet. The benefits of this diet are that they reduce the risk of these chronic diseases: heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, polycystic ovary syndrome, brain injuries, acne, and reduces seizures. Foods to eat while on this diet: meat, fatty fish, eggs, butter and cream, cheese, nuts and seeds, healthy oils, avocados, low-carb veggies, and condiments like salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. Foods to avoid on this diet: sugary foods, grains or starches, fruit, beans, legumes, root vegetables, tubers, low-fat or diet products, some condiments like sauces, unhealthy fats, alcohol, sugar-free diet foods. Side effects from this diet: keto flu, which includes poor energy and mental function, increased hunger, sleep issues, nausea, digestive discomfort, decreased exercise performance, and this is over within a few days. More side effects are fatigue, headaches, anxiety, leg cramps, disrupted or abstinence of periods, bone erosion, dehydration, easy bruising, kidney stones. How can you avoid these side effects? You can avoid these side effects by trying a regular carb diet to let your body adjust. You can change your water and mineral balance in your body. You can also add extra salt to meals and take mineral supplements. The keto diet is not for everyone. This diet is great for those who are overweight, diabetic, or looking to improve their metabolic health. But it is not great for elite athletes or those wanting to add large amount of muscles to their body. Because it is not great, it limits your ability to train due to the higher preserved effort or exertion, higher heart rate, and lower power during a workout. It doesn't support the amount of calorie intake that some athletes need to be able to perform at a maximal level. Implementing the diet. Implementing this diet into your daily life can be very difficult for you and for the people around you. It is a big commitment because it involves measuring and planning meals every week. Any unplanned eating can potentially break the nutritional balance required for this diet, which makes it challenging and very unpleasant. People who quit this diet tend to move towards a less demanding diet like the modified Atkins diet, the low glycemic index treatment diet, because of how difficult it is to maintain. The meal plan for this diet would include, for Sunday, fried eggs with bacon and mushrooms, 1 serving of each, except you will have 2 fried eggs. The snack for that day will be 1 serving of cheese. Lunch will be a burger with salsa, cheese, guacamole, 1 serving of each. Your second snack for that day will be 1 serving of nuts. Dinner for that day will include steak and eggs with a side of salad. Your total calorie intake for that day will be 2,246. Your fat intake, 236.7 grams. Your cholesterol intake, 684 milligrams. Your sodium intake, 1,751 milligrams. Your potassium intake, 2,758 milligrams. Your carbohydrate intake is 49.3 grams. Your protein intake is 138 grams. Monday. Your breakfast for that day will be 2 slices of bacon, 2 eggs, and tomatoes. Your snack for that day will be 1 serving of full-fat yogurt. Your lunch for that day, chicken salad with olive oil and feta cheese. 1 serving of each. Your second snack of the day will be 1 serving of each cheese with olives. Your dinner for that day, salmon with asparagus cooked in butter, 1 serving of each. Your calorie intake for that day will be 1,963. Your fat intake, 148 grams. Your cholesterol intake is 811 milligrams. Your sodium intake, 2,920 milligrams. Your potassium intake, 1,809 milligrams. Your carbohydrate intake, 25.2 grams. Your protein intake, 129.28 grams. Tuesday. Your breakfast for Tuesday will include 2 eggs, tomato, basil, goat cheese omelet. 1 serving of each. Your first snack of the day will be 2 hard-boiled eggs. Your lunch will include a milkshake that has the ingredients of almond milk, peanut butter, cocoa powder, and stevia. Your snack for that day, 1 serving of dark chocolate. Your dinner for that day, meatballs, cheddar cheese, vegetables, 1 serving of each. Your calorie intake, 1,818. Your fat intake, 116.36 grams. Your cholesterol intake, 992 milligrams. Your sodium intake, 2,050 milligrams. Your potassium intake, 1,634 milligrams. Your carbohydrates intake is 57.8 grams, and your protein intake is 81.35 grams. For Wednesday, your breakfast will include 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, and 1 serving of mushrooms. Your first snack of the day will be a full-fat yogurt. Your lunch, shrimp salad with olive oil and avocado, 1 serving of each. Your snack, strawberries and cream, 1 serving of each. Your dinner for that day is pork chops with Parmesan cheese, broccoli, and salad, 1 serving of each. Your calorie intake is 1,465. Your fat intake is 96.1 grams. Your cholesterol intake is 760 milligrams. Your sodium intake is 994 milligrams. Your potassium intake is 2,199 milligrams. And your carbohydrates is 43.9 grams. And your protein is 105.2 grams. For Thursday, your breakfast will start off with breakfast with an omelet, 2 eggs with avocado, salsa, peppers, onions, 1 serving of each except for the eggs. Your first snack of the day is celery with salsa and guacamole, 1 serving of each. Your lunch for that day: nuts and celery sticks with guacamole and salsa, 1 serving of each. Your snack for that day: cheese, 1 serving. Your dinner for that day will include chicken stuffed with pesto and cream cheese vegetables, 1 serving of each. The calorie intake for that day is 2,644. Your fat intake: 325.8 grams. Cholesterol intake: 655 milligrams. Sodium intake: 2,894 milligrams. Potassium intake: 3,986 milligrams. Your carbohydrates intake are 111.9 grams. Your protein intake is 122.8 grams. Friday. For breakfast, you will have a sugar-free yogurt with peanut butter, cocoa powder, and stevia. Nuts will be your first snack. Lunch for that day will be beef stir-fry cooked in coconut oil with vegetables, 1 serving of each. For your second snack, you'll have 2 hard-boiled eggs. And for dinner, you'll have a bunless burger with bacon, egg, cheese, 1 serving of each. For your calorie intake that day, you'll have 2,204. For your fat intake, you'll have 171.8 grams. Cholesterol intake will be 918 milligrams. Sodium intake, 1,604 milligrams. Potassium intake, 2,221 milligrams. Your carbohydrates intake is 70.1 grams. Your protein intake is 108.5 grams. For Saturday, for breakfast, you'll have a ham and cheese omelet, 2 eggs with vegetables, 1 serving of each except for the eggs. For your snack, you'll have 1 serving of dark chocolate. For lunch, you will have ham and cheese slices with nuts, 1 serving of each. For your second snack, you'll have 1 serving of full-fat yogurt. Dinner: you'll have white fish, 2 eggs, spinach cooked in coconut oil. For your calorie intake that day, you'll have 2,904. For your fat intake, 206.46 grams. Cholesterol intake, 1,059 milligrams. Your sodium intake is 2,664 milligrams. Your potassium intake is 2,977 milligrams. Your carbohydrates intake is 47.3 grams. Your protein intake is 173.17 grams. For your grocery list, you'll have miscellaneous items: pesto, coconut oil, peanut butter, salsa, nuts, eggs, olive oil. For your dairy items, cream cheese, sugar-free yogurt, dark chocolate, goat cheese, cream, Parmesan cheese, cocoa, butter, full-fat yogurt, feta cheese, American cheese, almond milk. For your produce, you'll have celery, spinach, peppers, onions, broccoli, avocado, basil, olives, frozen vegetables, asparagus, salad, mushrooms, strawberries, tomatoes. For your meats, you'll have ham, beef, white fish, meatballs, shrimp, pork chops, bacon, salmon, chicken, steak, burgers. The recipes for the week. Sunday, breakfast will include 2 large eggs, 2 slices of bacon, 1 medium mushroom, 18 grams. For your lunch, a beef patty 100 grams, 1 serving of salsa 100 grams, 1 slice of American cheese, 2 tablespoons of guacamole. Dinner, 251 grams of steak, 2 large eggs, a salad of your choice. For your snack, 2 ounces of cheese, 1 cup of mixed nuts. Monday, breakfast will be 2 slices of bacon, 2 large eggs, and 1 cup of chopped tomatoes. For lunch, you'll have 1 cup of chopped chicken, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 cup of feta cheese. For dinner, you'll have 0.5 fillet of salmon, 198 grams. You'll have 3 medium spears of asparagus, 16 grams, 1 tablespoon of butter. Snacks, half a cup of full-fat yogurt, 2 ounces of cheese, and half a cup of olives. Tuesday, breakfast, 2 large eggs, 1 cup of chopped tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of chopped basil, 1 ounce of goat cheese. Lunch, 1 cup of almond milk, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and stevia to your liking. Dinner will include 1 cup of meatball to the size of your liking, half a cup of cheddar cheese, heat 1 cup of frozen vegetables, 2 large hard-boiled eggs, 1 and an ounce of dark chocolate. Wednesday, breakfast will include 2 large eggs, 2 slices of bacon, 1 medium mushroom. Lunch, 100 grams of shrimp, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 cup of avocado. Dinner, 1 pork chop, 219 grams, 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, 148 grams of broccoli, and a salad of your liking. Snacks, a half a cup of full-fat yogurt, 1 cup of halved strawberries, and 2 tablespoons of cream. Thursday, breakfast, 2 large eggs, half a cup of avocado, half a cup of salsa, half a cup of peppers, half a cup of onions. Lunch, 1 cup of mixed nuts, 2 medium stalks of celery, 4 tablespoons of guacamole, half a cup of salsa. Dinner, 1 cup of chicken, 1/4 cup of pesto, 1/4 cup of cream cheese. Heat 1 cup of frozen vegetables. Snacks, 2 medium celery stalks, 1/2 cup of salsa, 1/2 cup of guacamole, 2 ounces of cheese. Friday, breakfast, half a cup of sugar-free yogurt, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and stevia to your liking. Lunch, 3 ounces of beef, 1 cup of vegetables, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Dinner, 100 grams of a beef patty, 2 slices of bacon, 2 large eggs, 1 slice of American cheese. Snacks, 1 cup of mixed nuts, 2 large eggs, 2 large hard-boiled eggs. Saturday, breakfast, 1 cup of chopped ham, half a cup of cheddar cheese, 2 large eggs, 1/2 cup peppers, 1/2 cup onions. Lunch, 1 cup of ham, 3 cheese slices, 1 cup of mixed nuts. Dinner, 1 fillet of white fish, 2 large eggs, 1 cup of spinach, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And snacks, an ounce of dark chocolate, half a cup of full-fat yogurt. are resources for this project.